Hello and welcome back to our blind Permadeath playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain. Brought to you by Felpatsu, my very first patron donator. Let us start, shall we? Ah, it's dropped. The game crashed. Okay, now I know something. That is, I need a Russian first. So should I just murder them? By I need a Russian first. I need a Russian that speaks English, so we can translate. That's first priority. Recruit or kidnap a Russian that speaks English. What is that?
Plenty of grapevines there. They're not bearing fruit, but they'll still provide good cover.
I'm not entirely sure sneaking is the best idea. I'll try sneaking. If I die, I'll go guns blazing, which is the safest route most of the time, in my opinion at least.
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter. The main principle of intelligence work is intel gathering. But that's a problem if you don't speak the enemy's language. We need a staff member with the interpreter skill to do a simultaneous interpretation.
That makes a lot of noise.
You gotta extract him.
Yeah, it seems like a stupid idea, doesn't it? Okay, 2 more thoughts.
Start by heading for Deshago Calais. Check your map for the location. The target is camped out in that village, dressed as an ordinary soldier.
Ah, great. It's just perfect. Let me see if I get the spot inside. I'm dead. Shit. really bad idea. Hey, I don't know who he is, I need to take down everyone. Don't I?
Пожалуйста, не стреляй!
Okay, there is that dude. I do have a photo of his ass, I think. I wonder if it's truly... He has a goatee and looks like a monkey, okay. I wonder if I can actually see the faces of these dudes.
Afghanistan is known for its grapes, but the harvest is a long way off yet.
Jesus. Could be one of them. A goatee. Fuck. Jesus.
Можно проверить, за мной! Понял.
Jesus Christ. Is this done? Ah, fuck me.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Okay. That's what I get for trying to be clever. Okay. What the fuck? I'm going to die. Okay, I'm going to stop trying to sneak. It's a really bad idea. that the target? Might very well be him. Holy shit. I know there is more than one asshole around. Where is the other dude? There he is. Shooting all the way from there. Amazing. This is obviously going to take far longer than it should. Really need someone that can interpret shit. Wasn't camouflaged. He was alive. He was posing as a regular soldier, I guess. many else can I kill, I wonder? Before they stop coming. Okay, that dude is not an imbecile. He has dudes protecting him. It's easy enough for me to figure out who is who. Wonder if this can go through. Yes, it can. Either there is no brick. What are they? Not this. Fuck. What is he doing? I want to distract him. I'm sure he knows English. What an asshole. Let's try to extract that dude. I'm sure it's not going to be easy. Gotta try at least. He thinks I'm this way, so if I circle around I might be able to let surprise his ass.
Something's up. If you're gonna do it, be quick.
Вы меня слышите? Прием! Всем боевым группам, это КП. У нас проблемы. Тревога по всем постам. 101, это КП. Доложите ситуацию. Прием! Вы меня слышите? Прием! Всем боевым группам, это КП. У нас проблемы. Тревога по всем постам.
Outpost captured.
Boss, I gotta say it would be a waste to kill him. But putting him to sleep doesn't count as eliminating him. Neither does knocking him out.
Okay, sorry about that. So we have the dude. Let's see if we can extract him here.
Target secured. I'll tell the client we sent the target to a place outside of heaven. Boss, your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around.
So as what I need is a silenced rifle. That's what I truly need.
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
What I need is a rifle, a sniper rifle, with a silencer. That ought to do the trick. I am going the right way here.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
I wonder if the Russians still get used up, even if they don't know shit. Maybe Kazuhura Miller knows Russian as well as Japanese.
This is B Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Well, I have to say this
This is
went
B Quad. On station at LZ.
far better than I imagined.
Gaining out.
But you see, that's the problem with doing stealth.
Departing.
And another Ruleset. Or Permadeath. Holy shit.
Development project has been added.
Jesus Christ, look at all that.
Mission complete. I guess it all worked out in the end.
Got name Chick. Okay. Whatever. Rank C. Enemy combat alerts. That lost me. Hits lost me as well. Alright. GMP balance. Mission clear, performance, rough diamonds, animals, and battery power. Battery power? Okay. This is complete bullshit. I don't know if it's only the PC version or what, but that's craziness. Okay. Support helicopter armor can now be deployed. Okay.
How you feeling, boss? Getting used to being in the field again? Having choppers and a horse at your disposal is indispensable for operating in the wilds of Afghanistan. I've gone ahead and arranged for you to be able to develop and customize weaponry for support choppers. And you can also develop new equipment for D-Horse if you like. Use your iDroid to start development as needed.
Will do. Support helicopter can now be customized. Special volunteers.
Remember the guys you brought back from the base in Cuba 9 years ago? Believe it or not, some of them survived that hell we went through. Word reached them that Big Boss is back and they wanted in. They're good men, our brothers in fate. They'll be glad to know you've seen them here.
Okay. Hideo Kojima. Really? Hideo Kojima. Okay. Gold Fox. Amber Fox. Hungry Crocodile. It looks like garbage. Grizzly Hedgehog. Okay. Ochre Chameleon. Wild Harrier. Elite Soldier. Silent Mastodon. Hello, Nutter, how are you? Hey, Nutter, can you explain me what that Twitch Prime thing means? He's a gunman. And he speaks Russian. Ah, these are the guys I kidnapped. Okay. Smoking Bison. English. Armored Bear. Spanish, really? What the hell is going on? Why does this keep adding a 9? Chinese? The devil is luck? Okay. Jesus. I have like 1,000 people. Ah, people who are subscribed to Amazon Prime. Okay. Fixed weapon emplacements such as gun emplacement, mortars, and anti-air cannons can be captured by developing the Cargo Fulton recovery device. Captured emplacements can be placed on Mother Base to help defend the facilities. Also, any surplus weapons stocked as resources can be sold.
Side ops list updated.
By connecting your iDroid to the onboard computer, you turn the chopper into your own Aerial Command Center, or ACC. Some elements of staff assignment and R&D of weapons and items can only be performed from there. Take as long as you need to consider all your options.
Ah, okay, free subscriptions. Interesting. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's listen to the recordings, why not?
You were hospitalized in Dekelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Dekelia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto. Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy? Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
They should have blown up.
He said I was in a British
hospital.
military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
Yeah, I know, Cyprus.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, the United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news. The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics. Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics? Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II. And Reagan's hardline politics won in the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union's an evil empire. The Second Cold War. And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran, Iraq. The story never changes. Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently, his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow.
I know Cold War history, don't need to repeat that. I know Cyprus is divided between... what the fuck is that noise? Between Turks and Greeks.
You're up. We're changing ships. We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler. The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it? Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? We're going to transfer
Really?
to a
They
container ship for
really
passage through
mind
the
the
Suez.
canal? I didn't
Our
know that.
destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road. And then we continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need.
Napalm up their ass.
Better horses than boats. Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While this...
Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation. I remember, but... I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now, but this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men.
Yeah,
basically
Colombia!
mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force.
Okay,
The
I
reality
heard
was,
about this on
your men had worn out your welcome.
the other game.
Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF. Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait.
Yeah, I don't know
While
how
you were
comas
gone,
work, but that
XOF,
sounded
posing as a
crazy.
nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off. The whole thing went down in minutes. XOF. Kisses and hugs followed by a big FU. All because of Miller's blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected. You remember a certain scientist. Huey was responsible for bringing the inspection team on board, giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home.
Huh?
You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base.
So Huey
But they
is
checked
an
the
asshole.
coordinates again
I
and
thought he was
again,
just naive.
until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, your men moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. There was a woman named Eva who arranged that. Rings a bell, huh? Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full of venom. The days of Naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you.
Both of those
Here, Snake, try this on. A prosthetic arm.
AKAs are so
Yeah,
fucking
Miller was
stupid.
calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think? I can still feel my real arm. You better get used to this one quick. You have any pain? Every now and then. Where? My fingertips. My left fingertips. Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand. Yeah. What about your vision? Can you see okay? Yeah, at the moment. Now, the shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex. Yeah, the doctor mentioned that. Your brain might process visual information incorrectly. In other words, you could have hallucinations. You might see things that aren't there, and not see things as they really are. You experience any of that?
I think so.
I'm sure he
Right
did.
after I wake up, colors look faded.
Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and death in the field. You'll need to watch out for that.
I will.
All right. You should continue your physio. We'll be arriving soon. It's the last chance you'll get.
So basically I'm crazy, great.
Ocelot. I hear they started calling you Shalashaska in Afghanistan. What's that about?
You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with a type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system. OKB scientists and engineers who'd been convicted of crimes were sent to a Sharashka for forced R&D. The Sharashkas were supervised by Lavrenti Beria of the NKVD, the secret police, under the official name 4th Special Department.
Forced research? That's not very different from what we do here.
Diamond Dogs is different. Everyone here believes in you. Regardless of where they came from or why they're here, they revere you. And they're fighting because it was their choice.
And if it wasn't, they'd leave?
Who knows? That's our reality here, whether it's real or not. If there's another truth, I don't want to know it. All that matters is that's the concept that's taken shape in their heads. The traces of a group ideology, our superstructure, to put it in Marxist terms.
All right. Go on.
Right. So anyway, at some point the enemy started calling me Sharashka. This was after the war in Afghanistan broke out. While I was keeping an eye on you in that hospital, I was also heading up interrogations here. The men I broke gave up their comrades and families, everything they wanted to protect them most. No real cause for it.
Okay.
I just let myself get caught up in the old Russian pride.
You know what? This is ridiculous. Why do I need an interpreter? This guy is Russian and he speaks English. Why do I need an interpreter? Ocelot is Russian. He was, I remember from Metal Gear Solid 3. He was in the army. The Spetsnaz. Why do I need someone that speaks Russian? He speaks Russian. Whatever.
I received the honor of becoming Special Interrogation Advisor to the forced labor camps. But the more men I interrogated, the more people saw me as just that, the interrogator. It helped cover my real objective of keeping you safe.
You went that far for me?
Far enough to keep you alive. I ended up being pretty well known among the Afghan guerrillas. Some of them would have seen me on the battlefield, and that's how I got the second half of the name. Shashka. It's a sword, a type of saber from the Caucasus. Russian dragoons and Cossacks carried them into battle. Now, the Russian Empire had a general by the name of Fyodor Arturovich Keller. His bravery earned him the nickname Russia's Greatest Shashka. Someone must have known about that, because somewhere along the line, Shashka got stuck on the end of Sharashka. The guerrillas were using the name amongst themselves, and by the time I got to hearing about it, pronunciation had wound up as Shalashashka.
So, half Gulag, half Hero Sword. Is a perfect fit.
But you see how rumors and ideas about people can get out of hand fast. Once you create a character and put it out there in public mind, it warps and twists with every baseless rumor. And before you know it, all people see are phantoms. In my case, it works out just fine. I'm plenty used to working under aliases.
Okay. Yeah, he actually worked for the CIA, didn't he? Pretty sure. Salt 2. I actually want to remember that. I think that's a treaty to reduce the amount of nuclear weapons. I'm pretty sure that's Salt 2.
So Salt 2 still hasn't gone into effect.
That treaty was drawn up to limit not just the size of the U.S. and Soviet Union's nuclear arsenals, but also their delivery systems. The whole deal. Just when we thought all those years of negotiations had paid off, somebody decides to invade Afghanistan. timing couldn't have been worse.
The president was in the middle of the SALT II talks back then.
You mean while you were busy trying to stop Peace Walker? I heard. President Ford was meeting with the General Secretary in Vladivostok. In his absence, the political brass in America detected what they didn't realize was false nuclear launch data from Peace Walker, and were on the verge of ordering a retaliatory nuclear strike.
Coleman's big idea? Humans are incapable of destroying themselves. Turns out he never knew what humans are capable of.
If that AI, I mean, the boss, hadn't found a way to stop the fake data transmission, they probably would have gone ahead with the launch.
Deterrence was revealed as the pipe dream it was.
All thanks to you. And her. The U.S.-Soviet talks looked set to fall through. What happened in Nicaragua no doubt helped trigger a change of heart. But in the end...
The time's define the politics. When
Okay,
you
goodbye,
grab their
Nutter.
tail,
Nice
they turn and bite your
Friday.
hand.
I first met you 20 years ago now. The place was Selenouyarsk in the Soviet Union. We were enemies. I was with the GRU. You were...
Okay, I
Zero
know
created
that.
Cypher, an information network to tap into every corner of the globe. Woven together, Cypher's arteries make the world just one big organism. And that's not all. It also monitors the thorn in Zero's side. That's you, tracking your coordinates wherever you might go. The further you strayed from your roots, the larger Zero became. It's as if he was trying to close the gap between you. But before long, he disappeared from public life. Only a few people had direct contact with him. For a time, I was one of them. Then a year after you fell into your coma, he slipped out of sight entirely. Since then, nothing.
What the hell
No
is Zero?
photos, no recordings, not even a reliable rumor as to his whereabouts. I tried every method I could think of, but Zero was gone. Freed of his control, his creation, his power continued to grow. Cypher is a great beast, and Zero was its spine. But even without him, it's endured, evolved. But now its body is rotting, riddled with parasites. Parasites like the ones who attacked you 9 years ago in the Caribbean, and then at the hospital.
Okay.
Cypher's Black Ops Unit, XOM.
The fuck?
Christmas Eve, 1979. The Soviet Union rolled into Afghanistan. Muslims had revolted against the Soviet-friendly regime established the year before. The DRA forces could no longer contain it themselves, so the Soviets went in to intervene. The Afghan government was powerless and fraught with infighting. They lost the hearts and minds of the people, and that alarmed the Soviet leadership. With the Islamic Revolution happening in Iran, the Soviets felt they had to act fast or risk the spread of Islamic revivalism. A superpower, sending a motorized rifle division against men on horseback with antique rifles. Everyone thought it'd be over in an instant, only it wasn't. Some Muslims made their fight a jihad, a holy war, and began a guerrilla campaign on all fronts. A war of attrition. These fighters call themselves Mujahideen. They're being supported by the West through Pakistan. That's why Miller was involved. He was training them near the Zero Line, sponsored by the CIA. The war has become a nightmare for the Soviet troops stationed here. They thought they'd be headed home in 6 months at the most. Then a year passed. 2 years. Now here we are 4 years on with no exit in sight. Afghanistan has become the Soviet Union's Vietnam. The Soviet troops on the ground want to go home, but at least they have homes to go back to. The Afghans have lost theirs. The Soviets destroy the kishlaks, villages, wherever they can. They burn down homes and fields, fill in wells, turn pastures into minefields. It's created a mass of refugees who fled to Pakistan. If the Mujahideen are fish swimming around the villages, the Soviets will go so far as to dry out their ocean. But this has had a big price. There's bitter resentment among the Afghans, and they're taking out their anger on the soldiers on the front lines. Among the Mujahideen are the Pashtun people. They're fiercely devoted to their code of Badal, or revenge. Soviets they've captured have had their hands, feet, and noses cut off
Holy
before
fuck.
being left to die at the side of the road, just to show their comrades what they're capable of. Friendlies who come across them can do nothing but put them out of their misery. Then they burn down another village in retaliation. And the cycle of vengeance goes on.
Kaz, what about the unit that attacked us in the mist? You knew something about them.
That wasn't my first run-in with them. It happened right before I was captured by the Soviets. We were on the zero line that day, the Afghan side, on our way back from training the Mujahideen at a mountain camp in Kunap.
What? You can view the functions and features alone the idle by pressing ESC. Okay.
Province. There's a lot of that work in Afghanistan. Most PFs shy away from it because it draws too much attention. But for us, that was the whole point. The job itself went great. We just had to make it back to a tribal area in Pakistan. But all of a sudden, visibility got real bad. It was no sandstorm. Our point man gave this strange report. He said he could see skulls in the mist.
Skulls?
The next moment, he went silent. We scrambled into formation, right before his arms and legs came raining down on us. It was always supposed to be a dangerous mission, so I had Diamond Dog's very best with me. We were calling out to each other. But one by one, the voices just went dead. Whatever happened to me, I lost consciousness before I knew it. When I came to, I was in a Soviet camp, tied to an interrogation chair.
Could they be some new Spetsnaz unit?
No. The ones that interrogated me were just the average rank and file. Whatever group attacked us, the way they moved was just insane. And that mist, appearing out of nowhere. The Soviets don't have tech like that.
If they did, Ocelot would have heard about it.
I doubt the West does either. Otherwise, the folks at Langley would be sleeping a lot easier.
Why'd they come after you?
Wish I knew. I'm the only one who survived. Though I don't think they planned it that way. If I was their target, they wouldn't have just handed me over to the 40th Army. Whatever the case, we need to watch our step until we know who they really are. And boss, if you ever do run into them again, don't try to take them on. You just get the hell out of there. When I first started dealing with Zero, with Cypher, it was a somewhat parasitic relationship. Though, a mutually beneficial one. Cypher had no army of their own, so they wanted us. They wanted our strength. They approached me as a potential business partner.
But they had other motives.
Cypher coaxed us into Central America, into that US-Soviet proxy war, to fuel Mother Base's growth. Once we were big enough, they'd force us to join them. That was the plan.
That's why they had Paz, still Zeke.
Right. And if we refused, she would use Zeke to fire a nuke from Mother Base. The world would consider us a liability, and countries would unite to destroy us.
We stopped the launch.
And yet they still took us down. Through that fake inspection they orchestrated to cover up their sabotage. That power Cypher wanted. We don't have it anymore. So why are they still after you? Is it just the fear of leaving you alive?
I don't know. Was Zero really... All I know is the man I knew wouldn't want this.
What do you mean?
We have to consider that it might not be Zero we're dealing with.
We know virtually nothing about Cypher anymore. How big they've gotten, what they want, or even who they really are. The new Mother Base started out as a test drilling rig operated by a mineral resources supplier, but their project fell through. The Seychelles government was happy to hand the place over to us. It was just scrap on stilts. So with a few dummy construction companies set up as fronts, we started renovating the half-finished rig. From the outside, it looked like the project was back on rails.
Kaz, you...
What?
I see what you're doing. Recreating the Mother Base we had 9 years ago. Only this time.
That's right. The Mother Base Cypher thought they destroyed will return from the grave to kill them. We'll prove to the world that we were the victors.
And if we lose again?
They can't fool us the same way twice. Now our enemies are in plain sight. And when our organization gets too big, we split it across companies. Any company that draws attention gets liquidated, and its capital is back-channeled into a new company. Most PFs are small-time operations anyway. And in this business, the minnows go bankrupt all the time. We've never aroused suspicion. Plus, we have Hewick.
Hewick?
Human Exploitation Company. It's a business specializing in intel gathering. Think of it as a civilian intelligence agency.
Cause that's...
Remember what they were trying to accomplish at the prison facility in Cuba? That gave me the idea. We dispatch moles into conflict zones around the world, and each sets up an intel network on site. Then they stay in place to give us stable points of contact when other nations intervene in the conflicts. Hewick's strength is that it has a cutout at each level. You get your job from one guy, then you hand it off to another. No one has direct access. It's a perfect black box. Hewick members also work their way into the superpowers intelligence agencies to make sure Diamond Dogs gets work. We have those countries by the balls. That's our deterrent when we need it.
Networking? In the intelligence community?
Sure, that's how we've grown this far. And when you go out on missions, intel from Hewick will be there to back you up. But despite all that, Cypher has its eyes on us. The only reason I'm not dead is that they needed to know where you were. Figured if you woke up, I'd go straight to you.
That's why you made that ruckus at the Zero Line.
Yeah, to make their own surveillance work against them. I think it took some of the heat off Cyprus.
Cause?
Then I just had to wait for you to save me. And I've gotten used to waiting.
Cause?
That's not all. It was a good chance to scout the market. And with the West wanting the Soviets out of Afghanistan, their agencies are bursting at the seams with funding. Boss, let's start by building up our Afghan presence.
Why put Mother Base in the Seychelles?
We're at the center of the world here.
We're all the way out in the Indian Ocean.
Come on. Lebanon, Sri Lanka, East Timor, and Africa. From here, our reach extends to conflict zones the world over, including Afghanistan, of course.
So it's prime real estate for a mercenary.
Exactly. Latin America isn't as close as I'd like, but we have Amanda and her people to help in that department. And besides, the Seychelles government owes us a favor.
Owes us?
The Seychelles has strong ties to the east, which the West wanted to shake up. It came to a head 3 years ago, in an attempted coup. It was a force of South African mercenaries, with U.S. backing behind the scenes. They were only platoon size, but South Africa is home to some heavy PFs. Too much for the Seychelles to handle. In the end, they accepted help from the Tanzanian army, and quelled the coup. We set up the deal and handled on-site tactical instruction. That led to some training work for the Seychelles military. And when we put down a mutiny within their forces, well, we made a lot of people happy. They don't pay us. They just let us have a piece of their offshore territory on the promise we'll come running if something else happens.
So we're bodyguards, too.
It's a good setup. We can only take Mother Base so far here. We'll have to find somewhere else when this place starts getting big.
Aren't you being a little hasty?
Nothing hasty about it. You're back with us now.
So, Kaz, the ship that took us from Cyprus, it used to be a whaler.
Yeah, a Japanese vessel. How was the voyage?
It was... stimulating.
Well, she was part of a whaling fleet up until a few years ago. Her displacement isn't anything to write home about, but she can really move. She still had plenty of life left in her, but then the work dried up. Global opposition to whaling has been mounting for years.
Is that right?
The push to ban it has been gaining traction for a little over a decade. Individual species came under protection as the years went on, and then 2 years ago the IWC adopted a moratorium on commercial whaling. Several countries, including Japan, fought it to the bitter end, but eventually most whaling companies had no choice but to throw in the towel. You ever tried whale snake?
Can't say that I have.
When I was a kid in Japan, practically everybody ate it.
That good, huh?
The country was poor in those days, and whale was cheap. International opinions changed since then. In any case, that's why we were able to get a bargain price on the ship. Of course, we did end up spending 5 times the purchase price in modifications. We had to really work to fit in all the ESM and communications gear while keeping the whaler look intact. Right now she's going around conducting SIGINT missions. In the future, we plan to use her as a communications relay base between you and Mother Base, and also as a chopper resupply vessel. Diamond Dogs. The word diamond originally comes from the Greek adamas. It means indomitable, unyielding. Other words for the stones often mean eternal bond, fortitude, or purity.
The same is true of the Star of Bethlehem flowers you laid on the boss's grave. They represent innocence, as well as chastity, yielding to no man while maintaining one's virtue. In other words, staying loyal to something.
Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use?
Well, he took off the moment the sprinklers started up.
Sprinklers? The fire system?
And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down.
When we escaped on horseback, he wouldn't cross the river either.
And then it started to rain. And he disappeared.
Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that. Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use?
Well, he took off the moment the sprinklers started up.
Sprinklers? The fire system?
And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down.
When we escaped on horseback, he wouldn't cross the river either.
Please.
And then it started to rain. And he disappeared.
Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that.
Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Deploying.
Disable the Soviets' reinforcement system by putting a hole in their base-to-base comms network. Head for the Eastern Communications Post and destroy its comms equipment. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility. playing with animals. What are you gonna do, boss?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ha! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There's an English-speaking soldier somewhere in the region. He's a language specialist. His role is to translate information related to the West into Russian. If we can get him to join us, we'll have the upper hand in information warfare. Find this language specialist and extract him.
Analysis.
That's the target.
Analysis complete.
Было неплохо. Правда? Что это значит? Я друг твоего приятеля.
О, это действительно полезно. Любые мелочи могут помочь в этой холодной войне, да?
Точно. Эти слова могут спасти твою жизнь.
Ха-ха, может быть. В следующий раз ты должен научить меня еще чему-нибудь.
Конечно. Увидимся.
That Soviet soldier in the green beret is speaking English. Must be a language specialist. With him on our side, we'd be capable of Russian interpretation support. Try and extract him.
Completed. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Unit
Boss,
function
that language specialist you extracted has been very cooperative. Says he's always dreamed of living a free life, like folks in the West. What are the odds, huh? I've gone ahead and placed him in the support unit. His job is Russian interpretation. Now you'll know what Soviet soldiers are saying. You can even interrogate them. Should give you an edge in the mission. Those are raw diamonds. Collecting them as assets will raise our GMP.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. You have arrived at your destination.
You made it. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Okay, so that... Let's see... see. This is another place where I look at that. It's a lot of people. A whole lot of people.
Analysis complete.
In all honesty,
Analysis complete.
he has a skill, an unknown skill. What if a dude... Yeah, that's the problem with the Permadeath. If a dude sees me, then it's over. Because it's like 100 of them. Yeah. It's stupid. I need to go up a mountain and fight. Need to fight them from there. I'm going to kill everyone. It's the only way I know how. It's the only logical way, I should say. Ah, fuck me. Unless I can truly lure them. Can I truly lure them? Complete morons. Need high grass. Jesus Christ. This is really fucking stupid. I truly need to understand how reinforcements work. They don't bring reinforcements from outside the area. It's easy enough.
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun will be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful.
Это КП, понял. Будьте начеку. Выкройте врага. Конец связи.
So I need to destroy the comms equipment.
Незаконченный поиск. Никто не обнаружен. Прием. Это КП, понял. Будьте наготове. Конец связи. Всем боевым группам, это КП. Вышел из строя целый ряд ламп. Похоже на проблемы с электроэнергией. Ближайший патруль. Проверить здесь питание.
Fuck. Enforcements.
КП это Дмитрий 6. Немедленно проверим. Конец связи.
So if sandstorms come in,
Post captured.
that goes for the enemy too. Use the situation to your advantage.
Analysis complete.
Okay, that gas one is coming this way.
Analysis complete.
He's coming too. Roger that.
So I need to blow up the comms equipment. Or what's my mission? Jesus. Identify the comms equipment. Isn't that the comms equipment?
The map has been
That antenna
updated.
is one of the targets. There should be more. Keep looking.
The map has been
That's another
updated.
one of the targets. Do you see any more?
Do I? So I do, the Permadeath doesn't.
That looks like the target.
Mission info.
We know where all the antennas are now. Take out all 3 of them. How you do it is your call.
Fuck me. So I guess the C4 is necessary. Right. Maybe shooting like a mad. Doesn't seem like it's going to work. Maybe I need to shoot them from the front. Shoot them straight in the...
Good. That's the first one. Destroy the remaining antennas.
So I could have done this with killing the people. Let me see how many sniper shots it takes. To load up. 1, 2, 3. That's too many. Figure out maybe with 1.
Nice. That's the second one. That wasn't the last of them, though. Keep going. Good work. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Mission info has been updated.
Okay, this time they didn't truly attack me. I mean, they didn't hit me. So let's see how good I do. Score-wise, because if not, I will start bringing the helicopters. That should be
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
very easy.
Whoa, whoa!
Okay, now I need to request
Black carrot. It's something of an ancestor to the domestic carrot. It's also a favorite of wild animals.
glad I know. Okay, let's call the support helicopter. Finish the mission, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I have. Exfiltrate. Yeah.
Please select a landing zone. The support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
1,000. So, but how the hell do I extricate myself without calling a helicopter? I don't know. I will try next time. Maybe I just need to go far away. Those suppressors are really shitty. I hope I can make a better one.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Exfiltrated.
Alright, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Alright, so I just need to
Departing!
go with the horse.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Capture cage.
Mission complete. Great work.
Cheek. Rank B. I'm never going to be rank S or whatever. I think I'm going to start calling helicopters. That's a lot of GMP. Fuck me, this is crazy. Cannot understand why they did that. Seems so ridiculous. Alright, I'm going to... Jesus.
Our army is growing like crazy thanks to you, boss. In fact, it's getting downright crowded around here. To bring a greater number of people on board, we'll need to expand our facilities. To that end, I've created a base development unit. It has two roles, material refinement and platform construction. I'll start with the material refinement part. The base development unit procures material resources on a regular basis according to its level. The materials are stored in containers and placed on the deck of Mother Base. Once they're finished being processed, they can finally be put to use. By using these materials to build new platforms, we'll be able to add a greater number of staff to our ranks. We don't need any specific instructions from you to refine the materials, but I want you to be the one to decide how we construct platforms. Once we have sufficient GMP and the required material resources, you can issue construction orders from your iDroid.
Okay. I'm going to skip this shit. I'm sorry.
Boss, we've received a back-channel request from Langley.
Updated.
We're to find a piece of new American military hardware that's gone missing in the mountains of Afghanistan. It's a difficult mission, but I'd say you're back in top form by now. Check your iDroid for the details.
Alright, let's see what I can... construct, research, etc. What the fuck is going on? Alright.
Please specify a project.
Okay, the only thing I'm concerned with, flare grenade, plus 4. That's a capture cage. Placing this in an area of operation enables humane capture. Yeah, whatever, I don't give a shit about animals. Can be dust. More damage. Practically nothing. Cardboard box with laser camo. Use it on sand or salt to blend in, making it harder. To be honest, that sounds ridiculous. Cargo enables extraction of gun emplacements and mortars. I have to say yes to this. We need AA guns for sure. We're on red soil now. I'm going to play at night most of the game. I can tell you that much. Plus 4, why not? I'm going to start bringing helicopters like a madman. I can tell you that. I could have this grenade launcher. Caseless grenade launcher. The simplified construction of this single-shot grenade launcher makes for all-round better shooting, but grenades' internalized propellant means weaker capabilities. I do think I need something that can blow up shit. And grenades are not particularly... Let's see, let's buy it. Why not? I think I still have money to research the faster helicopter.
Please specify a project.
Yeah, I think that's fairly important, to be honest. They are taking their sweet time to arrive. The fuck? We have developed it. What? How many times do I have to develop it? Apparently equipped. The fuck?
Please specify a project.
What the hell is going on? Alright. Let's customize maybe a helicopter. There we go. Why wouldn't they change to a better one on their own? Alright, doesn't matter. What do I see? 11. Are there people not in a supply unit? This is the RD team. So I guess they are. Base development unit. Support unit. I still have all the staff, 24, 25 and 25. Okay, what the hell is this? Rig? Okay, whatever, I still have space. Let's see what the base development team does. Base facilities. That will be it for today. What do I need? More money. Or everything. Okay, whatever, doesn't matter. So let's don't know if I should listen to those tapes. Takes a lot of time. Side OP. Let's see what this is about. Secure Riot SMG blueprint. Extract highly skilled soldier. Okay.
Please select a mission.
Extract the engineer who tried to defect from a Soviet base command is now being held at Wake Sealed Barracks.
Mission accepted.
I think it's better to arrive far away from the... Okay. But I'm not going to that mission today. That's a primary weapon. Okay. That was a mistake. Big mistake, actually. Researching this shit. I wasted a lot of money. I don't remember. mission, I'm going to call a lot of helicopters and see how much GMP app costs. Just want to see. Alright, let's start the mission. As always, light. And that will be it for today, basically. So, I would like to thank Failpatsu for his generous donation. We're 10% to our overall goal of becoming a full-time stream. If you would like to see it, please consider donating yourself. There's a link in the description below. But next stream will be on Monday. At least on December.
The Soviet engineer is being held prisoner at the Waksin barracks. You need to find him and get him out. He tried to defect from the base camp up north, but it didn't work out. Now they're holding him at Waksin. He's offered his technical skills to us as long as we can guarantee his safety. You have to extract the target.
Boss, your target just happens to be the man who developed your prosthetic hand. He's the only one capable of maintaining it. If we bring him in, I'm sure he'll be able to modify it in all kinds of ways as well.
Be careful down there, boss.
Alright. So, see you next time. And thanks for watching.